Alright, we're about ready to do the transition at the headstock and at the heel. I've marked it out using my template here for consistency, and I'm using this oscillating spindle sander 2-inch barrel disc, drum disc to do that. That'll get me pretty close to where I want to be. Then I'll do some final shaping and sanding at the along here, get that nice and cleaned up. Right now the blank is a full inch and a big 1/16, so that'll come down, and then with the 7 1/4 radius that'll come down a little more, and we'll get that feeling quite natural and nice once it's done. Don't you just love that flame? How quickly the process takes. It doesn't take very long. From here I'll go on to the heel. I'll give you a bit of an idea of how I do it. So I'll just finish it up and continue on to the next process. Alright, I've done an initial sanding with my orbital here with a, I think, 80 grit, and just kind of cleaning up the transition and the tooling marks on the neck itself. And we have the heel begun here. A little more work to do yet, but thought I would show you the interim process there. Coming along nicely. I still need to do some more contouring here and more blending. Those lines there aren't, those are actually the flame. That's not funny spots in the sanding. That's what you're getting with that effect from the flame. And then we'll get ready to do some fingerboard radiusing. In the meantime, I'm going to have to sand this back, get this cleaned up as well. Alright, so what I've done here is I have the neck in the playing position, and I'm just working on rolling the edge here, getting it transitioned really nicely into the edge of the fingerboard. I've already worked on the bottom half and got it feeling nice and good, and then I'll go and flip it over and work on the treble side of the neck and get that all nicely flowing, really nice and sweet-like, and feels really good. It's coming along really nicely. It's going to feel really good with the radius and then the rolled edges. It's going to be really nice. I'm going to continue on and then show you the finished result before we go on to the fingerboard. Well, we're almost there. We're about 90% done with the transitioning, where I'm happy with it. One thing I like to do is make sure that the point of the back of the headstock here lines up nicely with the skunk strip and all the way down to the heel. You want that point to be dead center. It isn't yet. I need to work it a little more. It's close. You want that all to look as though it's been CNC'd, I guess. Did a little more rolling of the bottom of the headstock and working on the transition at the upper end, bass side. And that's coming along nicely. I'll know once I've got the radius done and getting it ready for fretting how I like it. I usually go back to it a few times and just keep rechecking it and seeing how it feels, you know, from one day to the next. When you're holding it and working it, you kind of get used to the feel, but when you come back to it after a few hours, you feel it again and see whether you like that. At least that's how I do it. But as you can see, it's looking really good. Slightly off center there, not by much. I'll get that taken care of and you'll never tell the difference. I don't know whether many guys look at that when they're looking at guitars, but that's one thing I look for in my own work, to make sure I take care of that. One extra little step that I take. That's one thing maybe you can look at when you're looking at guitars off rack, seeing how well that's been done. If it's been CNC'd, it's probably good. But if the skunk strip is not center on your blank, then it's going to be offset a little bit. Anyways, I will continue on and get you an update onto the next stage, which will be the radius thing. I need to build a new carriage for the 7 1/4 and get that going. You'll see how I do that. In the meantime, stay tuned and be patient, and we'll continue on.